What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Vault. My name is Money, and I've always pondered the question, does Steve Aoki have nipples? Oh, thank God I can sleep tonight. Welcome to San Diego Comic-Con 2020, otherwise known as Virtual Con 3, or Steve Aoki Nipple Comic-Con. You're probably thinking, what made San Diego 2020 so special that I wanted to go backwards and make a video on a convention that already happened? Well, these were my options. And it was the lesser of the two evils. First of all, it happened in the middle of a pandemic, so that's a point I can tack up on the old interesting board. Second of all, there are dozens of Comic-Cons that I haven't been able to share my opinions on because they're in the past. So I wanted to go back in time and discuss some of the highs and the lows of this convention, and with early to mid 2020 being such a big deal with so much uncertainty in most people, if not all people's lives, San Diego 2020 felt like such a good jumping off point for going back in time and discussing some of these older conventions. Personally, for me, I miss the Animal Crossing days of—
Redacted due to YouTube's policies.
What? I can't say—
No, you cannot.
Well, can I at least say—
No.
San Diego Comic-Con 2020 left a lot of fans wondering what the hell is going on. The timing of the Comic-Con was tough with what was happening, and coupled with the fact that Funko was still working out the kinks of the Funko lottery, it was a tough time for collectors. Now, San Diego Comic-Con 2020 was unfortunately canceled on April 17th, 2020, which I mean makes a lot of sense considering what was going on. I mean, having 150,000 people coming to one convention center from all over the world definitely was not the smartest move.
I agree with you there.
So are you like omnipresent, or are you just in my head?
I'd like to build up the suspense and not commit to an answer.
Funko gave us our first teaser for San Diego 2020 with this image. The community was quick to figure out that it was Ripley from Fortnite, Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, and a Ninja Turtle with a surfboard. Oh, give me a break. I thought it was Franklin. Now, because of the pandemic, San Diego was smaller than a usual Comic-Con, but there was still a huge amount of items released. Now, before we talk about the specifics of this convention, the controversy, and the good and the bad aspects of it, I think it's worth rapid firing all of the exclusives to refresh your memory with that year's exclusives. Here we go. Astronaut bird, superhero bird, alien bird, scientist cat, robot cat, not a cat, who asked for this, Black Panther, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, a Bewitched knockoff, shiny Vulpix, shiny Mewtwo, shiny Sonic and Tails. The Thick, Deadpool, Master of the Universe, Clown Man, Bohemian Rhapsody, Sparkling Water, the alien from Destroy All Humans, Gohan, Goku, Beast from X-Men, Cyborg from Teen Titans, Hugh Hefner, Waste of Space, Waste of Space, Waste of Space, Trapdoor, a Very Hairy Drink, Berryman, a Clown, Required Scott Pilgrim, De Niro, Why Didn't This Go to Barnes & Noble, Michael Scott, Bobby Newport, Ron Burgundy, Ron Burgundy, Ron Burgundy. Here's a graph showing how many times I've said Ron Burgundy in my entire life. Now, I could easily just leave it at that, pack up my things, and go boot up Animal Crossing for the first time since June of 2020, but I think it would be an injustice not to talk about some of the highs, the lows, and the controversy that surrounded some of these exclusives. But I mean, where would I even begin? There's so much to talk about in depth, and I want to make sure I really tackle everything.
How about from the first reveal?
It's actually a great idea. The first reveal of the convention was San Diego Comic-Con's mascot, what is this bird's name? Oh, it's just Toucan? Oh, that's clever, and now he's an astronaut. Okay. That was a terrible idea. Are you part bird?
I am everything.
Let's just forget that's what I decided to start with, and let's do one of the biggest hits first, Bakugo from My Hero Academia. Hot Topic had some of the most popular pops from this convention. Nightcrawler's transparent mold was a huge hit for Marvel fans, and having an SSG Goku redone in this dynamic pose was every must-have for an anime fan. However, Bakugo was the most sought-after item from this convention. However, many Hot Topics didn't get their exclusives the day of, so many stores, such as my local stores, put them out on the Saturday after convention exclusives released. Fans and flippers went nuts for this thing, and I would argue that this pop right here is the most sought after pop of San Diego Comic-Con 2020 and one of the most sought after pops of 2020 in general. And while anime fans were eating well for this convention, Master of the Universe fans were taken out back and shot in the foot for like the 4th convention in a row. Toy Tokyo, man. I just need to make a video just on the ways that Toy Tokyo fails to run their business. If your want list features a Toy Tokyo exclusive, just go to Mercari, go to eBay. Not because flippers will get the stuff before you, but pulling out your own teeth is nothing compared to dealing with this company.
This is why you floss daily, kids, and I don't even have teeth.
And the other Toy Tokyo exclusives just feel random to me, kind of like they were randomly assigned to this company. After the popularity of the Samurai Jack and Aku 2-pack from the Funko shop, maybe Toy Tokyo wanted Scaramouche in order to try and boost up their sales. But Steve Aoki to Toy Tokyo, why would anybody want this as their exclusive?
I don't want to answer that question for you.
Thank you. Marvel's exclusives were pretty cool this year. They were just kind of random. Dark Captain Marvel came out of left field, but it's always good to draw from the comics, and honestly, I personally think that we should get a different Stan Lee cameo for every single convention, because I, just like a lot of other collectors, would eat that up. Now, I do have strong opinions on the 10-inch thing that I'll discuss later on when we talk about GameStop's exclusives, so let's just put a pin in this big boy for right now. Where was I? Oh yeah. It's always nice to get a new Iron Man pop, but Wade Wilson looks awful though. I remember seeing this thing for the first time in person and thinking to myself, why does this thing look like someone left cold cuts out of the fridge for 6 hours? Another of the most sought after items from this convention was ironically the only piece counted pop, and that's Black Lightning. Limited to 3,000 pieces, Black Lightning was the only piece counted pop from this convention, and it was honestly one of Funko's best moves. Coupling this pop with the Ra Al Ghul, DC pops were finally back, and people have wanted a Black Lightning for so long, so it's awesome to see it get some Comic-Con representation. Previous conventions had been pretty lackluster for DC fans, and yes, for this convention there still is a Glitter Mr. Freeze, who intentionally looks like someone left him in the freezer for too long, but Black Lightning and Ra Al Ghul are some of the best looking pops of this convention, and they're characters that people actually want to see as pops. I have to be honest though, Black Lightning is limited to 3,000 pieces, and its PPG is only $100. That's an amazing aftermarket price for this thing. I was literally shocked when I looked at the PPG on this for this video, because I would have thought it was at least worth $250 to $300. It's almost like Funko has an exclusivity problem. Speaking of aftermarket prices, how is the Flocked Mewtwo doing? Wait a minute, you're telling me that Flocked Mewtwo is worth more than the 3,000 piece Black Lightning pop, huh?
And Flocked Vulpix is worth $110.
I really just don't understand it.
I didn't even know Mewtwo had hair.
Mewtwo was shared with the Funko Shop and by nature was intended to sell it quickly. From the Funko Shop exclusives, Flocked Mewtwo and the Jack-in-a-Box mascot are holding some of the highest value from this convention. I think the mascot's name is Jackbox, and no, I do not mean like Schmitty or Cookie. I thought this was a video on the history of Quiplash. Another item that had a huge aftermarket price is the Flocked Vulpix, but not in the same regard. While both stickers of Mewtwo and Jackbox are worth well over retail, only Vulpix's con sticker is worth over $100. Jackbox and Mewtwo at least makes sense, right? Funko Shop exclusives at icon collectors are nuts and everyone loves Mewtwo, but what about Vulpix? Why the hell is this on this list? I remember trying to get exclusives on my phone and my laptop, and my phone order went through first. My laptop updated the cart and told me that Flocked Vulpix actually sold out before Mewtwo did. Vulpix, of all items, which was shared to GameStop, sold out first from all of the stuff in my cart. But here's the thing.
That was a dumb joke.
But that was a good joke and you know it. Vulpix didn't sell out at GameStop. In fact, a majority of GameStop exclusives didn't sell out at all. The 10-inch thing and Glitter Mr. Freeze just weren't that popular and sat around forever. I mean, look at this thing. Why would this be popular? I also imagine that if the zombie thing were a regular sized pop, it would have been a different story and fans would have been more likely to grab it. But $40 for a 10-inch Comic-Con pop is a lot of money when it eventually went on sale for 50% off. Why would anybody buy it at full price?
I don't know. Why did you buy 4 versions of Pikachu?
You know what? I will not be heckled by a voice that I'm not even sure is real.
I exist, just not where you'd expect me to.
The Sonic and Tails 2-pack is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Vulpix sold out earlier than this did on the Funko Shop, but Vulpix hung around longer in the brick and mortar locations than Sonic did, if that kind of makes sense. Solid pop though, awesome to see Sonic get some Comic-Con representation. But do you know who didn't get Comic-Con representation for San Diego 2020? That's Barnes & Noble. It probably has to do a little bit with the fact that they have exclusives from 2017 still sitting on the store shelves. And I'm not being facetious here. They literally have the Firefighter Donald sitting on store shelves near me with that big ass red 50% off sticker still on it. Harry going to the Funko Shop was a massive surprise. I mean, Harry Potter exclusives have gone to Barnes & Noble religiously, and when there was a second Harry Potter exclusive, it would go to Hot Topic, but there would still be at least one to Barnes & Noble. So it was kind of unsettling to see this at the Funko Shop. I believe that this has something to do with Barnes & Noble pulling out of the Funko game for just a little bit. But don't worry, they came back with an even uglier sticker than ever before. I can write you a novel about how much I hate the new Barnes & Noble sticker, literally on the new Barnes & Noble sticker, because it has that much empty room on it. Speaking of unsettling things, how dirty does it feel to see Best Buy on this Comic-Con lineup? Now, typically, Best Buy exclusives happen maybe once, twice a year at max, so seeing Best Buy get a Comic-Con exclusive, it was just super weird. Especially since the only Critical Role merchandise Best Buy is selling on their website is this pop. And as I write the script a year later for this video, it's still in stock on their website. What a shocker. Now, I know that seeing Critical Role in a Comic-Con lineup is awesome for fans of the game, but in general, this is just a lackluster exclusive, and the fact that it's still in stock a year later shows just how little the community cared about it. The biggest surprise of this year's lineup is the Anchorman set. Such a random surprise, but a welcome one. I personally think that the Anchorman set was going to be a main wave with maybe a couple exclusives, and it wasn't initially intended to be a Comic-Con exclusive. But then when Funko saw how few exclusives they were going to have, they slapped some stickers on these bad boys and said, perfect, Funko Shop, here we come. Alright, let's see here. What haven't I talked about yet? Let me check my notes. I covered everything that matters. Now, the list of exclusives that we got for this convention looked great on paper, but it definitely was not the convention that Funko intended. This leaked list of exclusives surfaced in late May, early June, and it showed us what was coming up for this convention. However, we only ended up with some of the items on this list, and you may recognize some of these titles like The Deep and Kim Pine from other conventions that happened between then and now, and that's because Funko makes products in 2 different countries. One was able to hit their mark, and the other was hit so hard by
Redacted
that they couldn't put their items into production on time. It's actually kind of funny to see just how far some of these items got delayed, as we're getting some of them still now in 2021. Now, by the end of the reveals for this convention, I'd say they were pretty well received, but there was still this general sense of, wait, that's it from the community? At the time, nobody knew that half of the exclusives were going to get cut. We saw a leaked list, we expected more, and we only got half. Oh, and there was a child with a silver ball that was on the leaked list, but then that ended up being a GameStop exclusive. I'm really not sure what's up with that one there. And while these exclusives were great, the real talking point of San Diego was the online shop. This San Diego was coming off of the tail end of the Dwight Schrute with the Princess Unicorn doll. For those who don't know what happened with that, well, Funko couldn't handle one popular exclusive launch and everyone got stuck at shipping calculation. The community was still very frustrated by this experience, so you know what Funko decided to do? They lumped it with 40 other exclusives at once. Funko announced that all of their exclusives would be available all at once to everyone at the same time. That's shared stickers and con stickers mixed together. People would have no idea what they would get until they opened their boxes, but I mean, we all expected shared stickers. Once San Diego exclusives launched online, Funko's website did not load for anyone. You were able to add pops to the cart, but then you would just sit there like an idiot with this circle just spinning over and over and over and over. About 10 minutes into the community not being able to get past the shipping information, just like the Princess Unicorn Dwight, Funko tweeted this graphic. They had this ready. They knew that this may be a problem to the point where they literally had a graphic prepared. How on earth did they think that they could handle 40 exclusives to thousands of people all at once if they couldn't handle one Dwight Schrute to just the Office fans?
It is the season for conspiracy.
It's the middle of the summer.
Oh, my bad. November is conspiracy month. July is Strep Throat Awareness Month.
It was infuriating. No one could check out. Items were in people's shopping carts before shipping info, and then by the time they got through it, everything they wanted was sold out. There were so many ways to remedy this traffic problem. For example, on Thursday morning, they could have posted, hey, today our Marvel, Ad Icon, and DC exclusives will go live at 12 o'clock. And then on Friday morning, they could have posted on their social media, hey, today our Pokemon, television, and video game pops will go live. They could have easily split everything up in order to lessen the strain on their website. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting in a room who collects Funko Pops. What could I possibly know about alleviating website traffic?
Nothing.
Now, I was so nervous that I tried to get an order in on my phone and my laptop, and after my phone told me that my order didn't go through, even after I hit submit, I checked out on my laptop. Now, this was about an hour in after they launched the exclusives, and I was just so relieved to have an order in. Lo and behold, I actually got the order on my phone through, so I got an order on my laptop and my phone, which doubled my chances of getting a con sticker. One thing that I realized is that you had a higher chance of getting a con sticker on an item that was less popular. I got 2 Ripleys, each with a con sticker. However, both of my Mewtwo's came with shared stickers because, to the general public, Mewtwo was far more popular than Ripley from Fortnite. And this Comic-Con was so tricky because it was right in the middle phase of Funko figuring out how this virtual landscape was going to work. Now, Emerald City of 2020 was a lottery system based on the people who won the in-person lotteries, so there was not much to change. Just give those people a room code and let them go nuts. New York Comic Con saw Funko embrace the online system when they had posted which sticker was going to be available where and when. The lottery system was smooth and there was even time slots to ease the strain on their servers. San Diego is right in this sweet spot where it was a free-for-all with no structure, rhyme, or reason. Funko should do better. And in fact, I think Funko can do better. I personally consider San Diego Comic-Con 2020 to be the lowest point in Funko's history. And I've been collecting since 2016, so I've seen a lot of terrible things from this company. But everything that happened with this convention somehow managed to anger a majority of their fans over exclusives that a majority of the people weren't even too stoked about in the first place. But somehow I ended up with not one, but two Con Sticker Ripleys. San Diego 2020 is, like I said, the low point in my opinion, but it's also critical to Funko as a company. You can make mistakes, you can stumble, and you can drop the ball, but as long as you learn from the mistakes and you don't repeat history, I think fans will forgive you. San Diego 2020 had a lot of exclusives that fans thought were pretty meh, but it also brought some items that fans could not wait to get their hands on. And I mean, personally, it's not my favorite convention, but it's definitely not San Diego Comic-Con 2019, which I think is the worst exclusive lineup in Funko's history. So overall, San Diego 2020, it's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just okay.
Don't forget about the nipples.
Oh, right. How could I forget? It's also the convention with the most amount of vinyl nipples.
Not my worst Friday night.